Okay, welcome, fellow Lions. Tonight we're going to have a new member orientation, and this is also a good orientation for existing members. But we call it a new member orientation, and we're going to cover highlights of Lions. We're going to get more into the club level activities since you're new members, but we'll also touch on other items. And my name is Doug Nace. I'm the first vice district governor of District 14C, and past District Governor Keith Schoaf will also be helping with the presentation. So we've done this in the past. So both of us are from the Broad Community Lions Club in York County. So Keith, if you want to get started, I'll go to the next slide here.
Okay, as you can see, the orientation is really broken out into four sections: who Lions are, your club, district and multiple district, and Lions Clubs International. Now, from the participant list, I see a lot of familiar names, so some of this is going to be old information for some of you, but any of the new members, hopefully, this will assist you in your Lions career. First of all, I want to say welcome to Lions. You have joined a global movement of over 1.4 million members worldwide, and we're in over 200 countries. And it's who Lions are we are people that want to change the world. As you can see from that slide, we're men and women dedicated to serving those in need, whether in our own community or around the world. Again, we're 1.4 million members. There is a, a mission right now to be at 1.5 million members in the next 2.5 years, and that goal is being heavily pushed right now. There's five benefits of being a lion, and one of them is just to have fun. The second one is to be part of something bigger. This is a unique organization, and you're not alone. You have the opportunities for personal growth within Lions. And like I said, you're part of a global organization, global and international organization. And basically, you know, just doing good for people makes you feel good. Lions, like any other organization, have a vision statement, a mission statement, a motto, and we'll talk about these off and on probably through the rest of the presentation. Vision, I hate to read to you, but I will be doing that here sooner or later. The vision statement is to be the global leader in the community in humanitarian service. The mission statement is to empower volunteers to serve their communities, meet humanitarian needs, encourage peace, and promote international understanding through Lions Clubs. Our motto, and if you haven't heard it yet, you'll be hearing it for the rest of your Lions career, is "We Serve." The slogan on Lions originally started out as liberty, intelligence, our nation's safety. And basically, the nation, when Lions were formed, the nation was just coming off of World War I. So that's how it incorporated, why they incorporated the our nation's safety. Uh, a lot of people use the next slogan, which is loving individuals offering needed services, but that is an unofficial version. Understanding the history and organization and service of Lions Clubs International is important for all Lions. It will not only assist in your personal growth as a Lion, but allows you to educate others on the importance of Lions Clubs in their community and ensures Lions can continue to serve those in need. Let me catch up here a little bit. Purposes. To organize, charter, and supervise service clubs known as Lions Clubs, to coordinate the activities and standardize the administration of Lions Clubs, to create and foster a spirit of understanding among the peoples of the world, to promote the principles of good government and good citizenship, to take an active interest in the civic, cultural, social, and moral welfare of the community, to unite the clubs in bonds of friendship, good fellowship, and mutual understanding, to provide a forum for open discussion of all matters of public interest, provided, however, that partisan politics and sectarian religion shall not be debated uh, by club members. That's one thing Lions are not. We try to avoid partisan politics and religious issues because of being in 200 countries around the world. There are many, many different forms of politics and different religions that participate in Lions clubs. And we also try to encourage service-minded people to serve their community without personal financial reward. We are volunteers. The pay we get for serving is the joy that we create in people's lives. Again, as we serve them. We also try to encourage efficiency, promote high ethical standards in commerce, industry, professions, public works, and private endeavors. When Lions were formed back in 1917 by Melvin Jones, he was a businessman, and he really searched his business network for like-minded individuals that wanted to serve their communities, and that's where the that last purpose comes into play. He didn't want these people that were joining Lions to do it to make money, and he really wanted to create high standards and ethics within the business community. Lions also have a code of ethics. Any big organization that really needs a code of ethics. The code is to show my faith and worthiness of my vocation by industrious application to the end that I may merit a reputation of quality of service. Again, you're going to see that these really kind of relate to the business community because of that business connect that Melvin Jones had with his business networking. Uh, Also, to seek success and to demand all fair remuneration of or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect lost because of unfair advantage taken because of questionable acts on my part. I'm going to leave the rest of those to you. You can actually look these up on the website, the Lions website, and they're good to know. I personally think they're a little hard to understand. When I was district governor, I talked about the Cowboy Code of Ethics, which was a much simpler code, yet it covered all these same points. And so, again, I'll let you read the Code of Ethics because I don't need to have anybody bored and falling asleep the rest of the evening. So, again, you're not alone in this. Don't be afraid to reach out to your sponsors or reach out um, to your club officers or the district officers or anyone within Lions should and will be glad to help you out. Doug, I'll pass it back to you for information on the club.
Okay. Like a lot of us have the same viewpoint at the club level. That's really where the rubber meets the highway. That's where everything gets done across the United States, across the world. I'm been actually dealing with a lot of people in my group now from India and Africa. And it's amazing once you get past the language barrier, how much your club and what you're doing individually as a line, we're doing the same things. So it's very interesting to find that out. But it really is a lot. I mean, I think people join the club to help out in their local community and then move up to the multiple district in the state of Pennsylvania, the United States, and then on to the international. But I think the major goal when an individual joins the club is to help their own community. So we have 10 clubs represented this evening. So it's I'm just going to go down a list and going to hit the highlights of what some of these clubs do. So Lawrenceville Lions Club, they're in Zone 1B. So we have 8 zones in our district. And the district is York County, it is Adams County, and Cumberland County. So as you can see, the Lawrenceville Lions Club was chartered in June of 1973. And right now, a lot of the projects are vision screening, eye exams and glasses. They do road cleanup, do holiday decorations, holiday fruit baskets. They sponsor a Leo Club, and they have a stand at the National Apple Harvest Festival. So that's just some of the highlights that that club does. Any of the members from that club, you can probably relate to that. And Boiling Springs, you do some of the same type thing. You're going to hear a lot of this. A lot of clubs do some of the same things, and some of them do their own specialties. So they do the vision screening, eye exam and glasses, roadside cleanup. They sponsor a camper to Beacon Lodge camp. So that's one of the things I saw that was interesting at the Boiling Springs, because a lot of clubs do not. And they do a student scholarship. And they operate a food booth at different events. The Broad Community Lions Club, which Past District Governor Keith and I are members of, we do a bingo, a chicken barbecue. We have a holiday village that we sell crafts and things and around Christmas time. We actually sponsor a 250th Chanceford Township history book, and then we use that money for our scholarship fund that comes in from that. And we do donate to the local PTO. We do the eye exams, and we also sponsor a dog at Leader Dog for the blind. So that's one of the specialty items we do at the Broad Club. The Carlisle Lions Club, I mean, their big thing is the Carlisle events, the car shows. They're very big at that. They do broom sales, do eyeglass collecting, and they purchase eyeglasses, and they do vision screening, and they also do a stuffed lions, 6-inch line. So just little things each club does here. It's a little specialty. It's nice for all the clubs to hear about this stuff. So what's going on in other clubs might work for yours too. So
I think they're in the process of forming a Leo club.
That's correct. Yes. And the Dover Lions Club, they do the eyeglass collections and recycling, and actually there's own chairs ahead of that in the district. Do the road cleanup. They sponsor a Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops. They do eye exams and glasses, and do student scholarships. Mechanicsburg, I mean, all these clubs are so active. I mean, that's why I get excited about this. I just wanted to jot some of this stuff down. The vision screening, they sponsor boys and girls ball teams. They subsidize eyeglasses and hearing aids. And they do Meals on Wheels, help with that, recycle eyeglasses, and Gift from the Heart program at the elementary schools. So the Newville Lions Club, they have an annual Lion Community Fair. They help with the food bank. They sponsor a Boy Scout troop. They do eye exams and eyeglasses, and they do a scholarship, and they have a Halloween parade. And they also own the fairgrounds there. So They maintain the Lions Fairgrounds there at Newville. New Freedom, they're very active. They do eye screening, subsidized eye exams, and they do, here's a unique project that they do. They provide medical supplies to Ukraine. They they do a blood drive, and they have a big annual carnival that lasts a week down there. They have a tree lighting ceremony at Christmas time that they sponsor, and they sell brooms. So, and the soups and sandwich sales. The Storchtown Lions Club, they have a fall festival, a chicken barbecue. They sponsor a golf tournament, a Golf for Sight tournament. They do a bingo, a carnival, a tree lighting ceremony, and they sponsor a Boy Scout troop. And the Susquehanna Lions Club, they do a Halloween parade. They have a pork supper, and they have a thing what they call Fill the Truck Weekend, where they try to get toys for different people. And they have a gift card bingo. So, and they do a road cleanup. So as you can see, some of the things all the clubs sort of do. Vision's one of the big things, vision screenings. But every club has their unique items that they do, which is so neat to their community. And I think that's what they're known for. So in your club, you have club officers and elections. So you'll need to get to know what your meeting dates are and times. And we just went over your service activities and fundraising activities. Now, I didn't go over all of them for each club. I just tried to hit the highlights. As you can see, it was a lot, so I didn't. But the clubs are so active in this district. We're really happy about that. So you have a dues and budget, and the club traditions, which is some of the stuff I just covered with what you do in your own community, awards, club communications, and membership benefits. So the club officers and elections. This is one thing you have a president, you have an immediate past president, you have a vice president, and sometimes you'll have a first, second, and third vice president. And a lot of times they'll move up through the ranks of the chairs to get to be president. You'll have a secretary, a treasurer, a membership chairperson, marketing communication chairperson, a service chairperson, a line tamer, and probably a lot of you might already found out who the tail twister is. They're the ones that come around and try to have a good time at the club, but you try to get money out of your pocket. And you have directors, and most of the directors go for 2 years. So your club officers and elections. The club officer election, officers are elected annually. Now, this really depends on the club. They can actually have a club president and vice presidents go for 2 years instead of just the 1 year. But they do ask to be elected annually, and that gets turned into Lions Club International at the end of the year. The club president appoints a nominating committee in January or February, and the nomination committee selects candidates and presents nominees in March, and then the club votes in April. And the term, if you become an officer, your term begins July 1st of that year. So your meeting dates and times. So the club really decides when and where and how often to meet. Past District Governor Keith and my club meets twice a month, year round. Some clubs will take the summer off. And most clubs that meet minimal once a month. But that's, you really need to get to know that from your club. Your sponsor should be able to help you with that on your meeting dates and times and keep you informed of that. Your service activities, normally each club has a list of service activities during the year. So I just touched on a few of each for each club. So the activities are announced at club meetings, your newsletter, and social media. And there are different aspects to each service project where some may require a sign-up sheet and sometimes a time slot. So if you have a large project that's going to exceed, I'm going to say 6 hours, you might sign up for the first shift. You might have somebody come in for a second shift. So that's nice when you have big projects like that and you have enough people to help. Also, in our district, if the projects become too large, we actually will pull resources from other clubs and we all work together. We have a big project going on. It's great to get a couple clubs involved, or even a zone where 4 or 5, 6 clubs pull together and take on a project that may be too large for a single club to take on, but you want to help the community. So if the project's too large in that community, you reach out for help. So that's what Lions do. We serve. And we just ask you to volunteer. I mean, that's really what we're all about. It's a great way to get to know other Lions members and members of your community. And I'll touch base with New Freedom. I think they do a great job with their carnival. They actually asked non-members to come in and help them. And I think they've been very successful with that over the years. Once these individuals in the community help out at their carnival, a lot of them become Lions. They get to find out from Lions what we do and how we help the community. And I think it's so important to let people know that every dollar we raise in a fundraiser goes back to the community. The club or the multiple district or international does not keep a dollar of that. That all goes back to the community or to humanitarian services somewhere to help somebody. So your fundraising activities, each club will have a fundraising activity throughout the year. It's important to know that every dollar, just like I said, raised for the fundraiser goes back to the local community to help individuals in need. Sometimes a Lions Club will do a joint fundraiser and another club, local club, or other organizations in the community. My home club and Keith's club has done that. We've had people, I think the most recent one was somebody's lost their home to fire, total loss. And our neighboring club at East Prospect pulled together with us and we were able to raise a lot of money. I mean, I was shocked at the amount of money that came in from our local rural community to help these people out. But that's what we do. We do have a dues and there's a budget. So the annual dues or international dues per year are $48. Your multiple district dues are $16. Your district dues are $2. And then a club may also have dues to offset meals or whatever. So that's determined by each individual club. But, you know, a lot of people say, well, why do I have to pay dues to volunteer? And it goes back to the thing, every dollar we bring in goes back to the community through our fundraising. So to offset the cost of the organization, we pay dues. So that's how we're able to give every dollar back. If you look at other organizations, and I'm not going to go into each one, but a lot of them will say they return back 70 cents on the dollar, that type thing. I'm so proud to say that at Lions, every dollar we bring in goes back to that community and to the humanitarian services. So you have 2 budgets in your Lions Club. One's an activities budget. So any money collected from the public, that money can only be spent to satisfy community or public needs, just as we discussed before. Now you have an administrative budget. That money collected from members via the dues, you're going to have the raffles, they have the tail twister coming around with your fines, and then that money is used to finance the club operations for anything that, so you have 2 distinct budgets in each club. You have that same format at the district level, the multiple district level, and Lions Club International. It mirrors right across the board. So we talked earlier about traditions. Each club has a tradition, and Some have been in place for decades. Some may be new or revised in revision to the tradition. Is it a service project? Could be a carnival, a parade. I went through the list. Everybody has a little thing they do for their community, and that's what they're known for in that community. That Halloween parade, they know the Lions sponsor it. So you tell the people in your community what Lions do. And I think that really gets our connection to the community when we do items like this. And we have to not be scared to brag about them. I think I used to have a tape go around, and it was called "The Best Kept Secret in Town." That Lions were the best kept secret in town. We don't need to be the best kept secret in town. We're proud of what we do, and we should let people know. So tell them about one of your club's traditions and just the activities. And you don't have to go into details. I think a lot of times people know who needs help in the community, and that these individuals get helped out. And some of these people that need the help are very proud, and they really don't want to be out there as a poster person. So sometimes just do things behind the scenes and help people out. But word gets out, people know. But you take care of your own. Now we do have awards. So while service is our own reward, special accomplishments and milestones should be recognized and celebrated. The awards below are awards that the Lions can achieve. So membership keys, that's if you sponsor a member. You have chevrons for the number of years you've been a Lion. Member sponsor recognition, extension awards, PA Counselor Distinguished Service Award, Lions of PA Foundation Award, Fellowship, and a Melvin Jones Fellowship. And it's a real honor to get any of these, but it's one of the things, we do this as volunteers, but it's nice to get a little recognition from time to time too. So it's one of the things clubs do, and they recognize the people that are out there making it happen, as their members. And some of these awards, like a Melvin Jones Fellowship, you don't have to be a Lions member to get one of these. It's if you feel somebody in your community does an excellent job, they can be given a Melvin Jones Fellowship, that they're recognized for their humanitarian service in the community. The club communications. Most clubs use one or more of the following means of communications. I guess I come from old school, so back in the day, it was the newspaper. Everything was in the newspaper. You had your local newspaper, and you read everything what was going on. And you had a club newsletter, and that was about it. But now we have club websites, we have emails, we have Facebook pages, Instagram, still word of mouth. That still works good. And any others, just working with your local community. We work with our local township down in our area, and they actually put things for us on their website. So the more you can get the word out to different things. And we do use a little newspaper down here. We have a weekly newspaper. We still put some items in that, and that still has a big following. But it's just not a one-stop shop anymore. So you have to really look at ways to get out and communicate with the public in your community. So membership benefits. The benefits of Lions Club membership are numerous and include: be part of a global community for good, support tools and resources to enhance your service, leadership development opportunities, the satisfaction and joy of helping those in need, networking opportunities with local and international community leaders, friendship and fellowship with service-minded people, respect and credibility of being a Lion. So I think so many of them have, it says what Lions are. I think it's Lions Club International has a lot of opportunities for leadership, and it not only helps out in leadership opportunities in the Lions Club, but in if you're still working and a professional career too. So it really helps in those areas. They have public speaking courses, um, how to set up and do different things. They actually even have one on how to set up a convention. So I was really surprised. But if you ever get on the Lions Club International website, you'll find there's so much stuff on there. And I'll give you a little hint. You get lost in it. So a lot of times I'll just Google it. They ask the question I want and let Google look it up for me rather than going through Lions Club International at times, because it's so many resources they offer. So that gets to the end of the clubs. Anybody have any questions on the club part of the portion of this presentation? So our clubs in our district, we have 44 clubs now, so that makes up our district. So right now we have, there are 750 districts and 35 or more clubs and at least 1,200 members in each district. So that's how they break it down. So each district has an elected district governor. So our district is District 14C. So our multiple district for the state of Pennsylvania is 14. Then there's 17 districts in the state of Pennsylvania. So I've said before, our counties that we service are Adams, Cumberland, and York. We have 8 zones, and there might be 3 to 8 clubs, Lions clubs per zone. And there's 45 Lions clubs and 4 Leo clubs in our district right now. So we actually have 44 Lions club and 1 branch Lions club to make the 45 Lions clubs. So the multiple districts are formed by 2 or more districts within a territory. The districts are further divided into regions and optionals, as regions and zones. So years ago, we used to have regions where we had 2 zones in each region, but that has since gone away, so we just have zones now. So our multiple district, which would be the MD14, is the Pennsylvania Lions. So we have 17 sub-districts, which we are one of. So the PA Lions State Office is located in Harrisburg. So we have a paid state administrator. And then it's governed by the Council of Governors. So there'd be a district governor from one of each of the 17 districts in the state. And you have a council chairperson, and they're the immediate past district governor from a district determined by the rotation. So every 17 years it goes through that a district puts up the council chairperson. So our district leadership right now, our district governor is Galen Burkholder, and he hails out of Shippensburg Lions Club. So I'm the first vice district governor from Brogue. Our second vice district governor, Patty, which is on the line this evening from New Freedom. Our cabinet secretary is Nancy Hockenberry. She's from Plainsfield Lions Club, and our cabinet treasurer is Phil Alphin. So we're the people that are in charge right now. I always say the flavor of the year, so to speak. So as a district governor, you're in 1 year, and then most likely the next person, like the second will move up to first will move up to district governor. So that's where it normally falls into play. So right now our zone chairpersons, we have Todd Baller from Hanover, Jay, which is on the line this evening from Orangeville, Ray Hollins from Carlisle, Mike Fenigal from Mechanicsburg, Ron Bollinger from Spring Grove, Dwayne Hall from Dover, and Robert Wilhite from Redline, and Don Weaver from New Freedom. The District 14C Global Action Team, so that's headed up by the Global Action Chairperson of actually the district governor, which would be District Governor Galen. The membership team coordinator is past District Governor Dan Brandt from Newville, and I head up the extension team coordinator, which is looking for new clubs and trying to get branch clubs, new Lions clubs started. And Dan does the membership. So we coordinate together under membership. Our leadership team coordinator is Jay, which is again on this evening. So he puts together all these webinars to help people, like the orientation we're doing this evening and other things for zone chairs, for presidents, secretaries. He heads all that up, looking to help out the leadership in our district. The service team coordinator is past District Governor Dennis, which is also on the line here. And he does a lot with making sure the service is reported by each club, that they get credit for it, and that the district itself does service. Last year we did some tree planting projects with the Chesapeake Bay, Alliance to the Chesapeake Bay. So we helped out with some of the young people from the Alliance plant trees at Gettysburg and around the district, some in York County. And so that's a good project. So Dennis put that together for us last year. But another great project that the district does. The district conventions and the develop fellowship among the lines of the district, conduct general district business, elect the district governor and other district elected officials, and conduct seminars. So we try to look at and not have the same seminars each year. So we try to get different seminars to help out people. We ask the members what would they like to learn, what can we bring to their attention. As leadership, we're here to help you as Lions. So I mean, we're just Lions too. We've been Lions for years, but we're here to help, and that's the biggest misconception I think members don't see. I mean, the leadership is here to help Lions and Lions clubs. That's, again, I'm going to use a term, that's where the rubber meets the highway, at the club level. And we need to keep that moving forward with new members and doing new service projects, and anything we can do to help out, we're there for you. So this year's, we have a district convention. It's going to be at the Wyndham Gardens in York. So it's going to be on a Saturday, April 5th, and registration is going to begin at noon, and the convention is going to start at 1 o'clock. So we're going to have a cabinet meeting, necrology service for members, Lions members that have passed the year before. We normally have a guest speaker. They can be, many times they're a past international director that come in and speak. We have awards and recognition, seminars, district officer election, and raffles. And many times we'll have a social gathering following the convention just to get together with everybody. So that's one of the things I encourage you to come to meet other Lions and find out what they're doing, get to know what's going on at the district level. And it's a fun time. You just don't have to sit there and sit through seminars and that type of thing. It's a little bit of business, but it's a lot more fun and joking around, and it's what it's all about. I mean, that's really what Lionism is all about. The District 14C service initiatives. So things we really do at the club level and at the zone level and at the district level. So we collect and recycle used eyeglasses, hearing aids, and cell phones. And it's unbelievable the amount of eyeglasses that the clubs and the members bring in to the district meetings. I think we did, 45,000 pair last year or something. I mean, it was a lot. So Beacon Lodge 500 clamp club, we actually, for Beacon Lodge, it's a PA Lions Beacon Lodge, and we have that's totally sponsored by the Lions Club. Blood donations to local hospitals, peace poster contest where we have young kids do every year they have something, a slogan they have to do their peace poster on. And I've helped judge it. It's just amazing, these kids, what they can come up with at their age. I'm just blown away with what these kids come back with on these posters that they draw. Vision screening programs, you heard me go through. A lot of the clubs do that at their level. Disaster relief. We've done a lot this past year when the hurricane hit down in North Carolina and Tennessee. Our district pulled together probably within 10 days, I think it was, District Governor Keith, and we raised over $15,000. Individuals and clubs pulled together that quickly and got that money together to buy, and we gave it to the district over in Lancaster, and they went out, they had a resource that they could go out and buy food and clothing and generators and that type thing, and filled up 2 tractor trailers to take down to help out with disaster relief. Past District Governor Keith actually went to, what was that, 3 years ago, and past District Governor Dennis went down and helped out, and that was what,
Mayfield, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Yep, in Kentucky. So that's one of the things. The last disaster we actually had in our district was back in 2012. We had some flooding, and we helped some families out. And Lions Club International gets you a check usually within 24 to 48 hours of you requesting it to help these people out. I mean, we're quick getting response time and getting and helping people. Environmental awareness, you heard me say it before. We did some work with Alliance to the Chesapeake Bay. We're always looking at projects to do that. Hunger relief, we tried, the clubs in the district do a great job helping out the food banks and helping collect things for the food banks and donations. So it's just something, our district is well known in the state for what we do in our service initiatives. And so many times we're in the forefront of all the other districts, 17 or 16 other districts in the state. And that's something we should really be proud of what we do. I mean, it's just amazing what our district does in these, to help out in these service initiatives. So we also do the Lions of Pennsylvania Foundation, Pennsylvania Lions Beacon Lodge Camp. And I said before, that's a big thing for what we do here in the state. That takes children and campers with disabilities, blind, and it's amazing what they do up there. They've also moved to veterans now and families to help them out. So it's something that reaches out and helps out people in the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Lions Hearing Research Foundation, PA Lions Site Conservation and Eye Research Foundation, Leader Dog for the Blind. I had the opportunity to go out there this past August, and it's just amazing to see what they do with these dogs and help the blind people. And just it's amazing to hear the people that have gotten a dog, how they were down on their luck, even thinking about suicide, and all of a sudden this dog came into their life and they were able to go out and start doing things again. They weren't just sitting around their house anymore, and it just changed their life. And just to go out, it was heart-wrenching, I would say, to hear some of these stories. But part of that, I know our club has sponsored 4 puppies now for the leader dogs. So PA Lions Care for the Kids, the 4 Diamond Fund, that's up in Hershey, and the Northeast PA Lions Service Foundation. So as you can see, our district is active. So we have a district website, and this is how we communicate. We have an email service. So if you put your email in, you get the district newsletter once a month. And Past District Governor Dennis sends that out, and that's usually, well, so we have the email service, we have the newsletter, and then we have the Facebook page. So that's things how we communicate with members in our district. So we'll turn it back over to Pastor Governor Keith, and he's going to talk about Lions Club International.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. Let's start out by taking a trip back in time to review some of the Lions Clubs International's historical highlights. As you can see there, in 1917, Melvin Jones founded LCI. Like I said, he had been a businessman in the Chicago area, and he reached out to his network of business people, his circle of business people in Chicago, to help put this vision together. He believed that local business clubs should expand from purely professional concerns to focus on working the betterment for their communities. So he contacted members of similar independent organizations around the country and invited them to a meeting. Most agreed to merge as one association, and that's how Lions Club, the Association of Lions Clubs, came into being. The first convention for Lions was actually held that same year in Dallas, Texas, and he explained the reasoning for the concept of service to the community was saying you can't get very far until you start doing something for someone else. 1920, LCI becomes an international with a Canadian club, and that was a big step forward to move outside of the United States. In 1925, Helen Keller who was an author and a lecturer and had overcome considerable physical handicaps, served as an inspiration for other disabled people. When she was 19 months old, she was stricken with an acute illness that left her deaf and blind. Yet she overcame these setbacks to earn a college degree with honors. One of the earliest milestones in Lions history has occurred in 1925 when Helen Keller addressed the organization at the International Convention, which was held in Ohio that year. She challenged the Lions to become Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness. Thus was created the very first vision for our service. I use the word vision not as a pun, but it gave the organization the vision to work with the blind. 1945, LCI helped to draft the United Nations Charter. A lot of people don't understand that or know that. 1954, the organization's motto, "We Serve," came into existence, and it was chosen from more than 6,000 mottos that had been suggested by Lions. It symbolizes our spirit to help others and to tear away from the shrouds of ignorance and distrust that separate one human being from another. 1957, the Leo Club program was formed. Leos are really the youth of the organization. Leo stands for leadership, experience, and opportunity. Most of the Leos begin at high school age. The Leo program is open to people really from ages 12 to 30, and it's to provide the youth of the world with an opportunity for development and contribution, individually and collectively, as responsible members of their national and international community. 1968, very important year. The Lions Club's International Foundation was formed. This foundation was formed with its purpose to fundraise for large-scale humanitarian projects for sight, youth, disability, health, disaster relief, environment, pediatric cancer. We actually have 8 global causes that the foundation assists with. Since LCI was started in 1968, it's awarded over $1 billion in grants to improve lives of people around the world. Every single dollar donated to LCIF goes to money to be sent back out into the world. Again, there is no money used out of the donor money to supply the administrative costs. The administrative costs actually come from the interest that the investments bear. But every single dollar that is donated goes back out. Uh, 1973, Melvin Jones Fellowship was created. Doug touched a little bit on the fellowship. Um, this is a donor recognition, and it's not an award, it's really an honorarium. People confuse Melvin Jones with being an award, but it truly is more like a knighthood would be in England. It's The Melvin Jones Fellowship is really the backbone of LCIF. It provides more than 70% of the revenues. It's, again, a recognition for humanitarian work, and it's given out to individuals or clubs with a donation of $1,000. Um, and that donation can be made by yourself, by your club, or can be made by a friend for someone. 1973, Lions Clubs International welcomes our 1 millionth member. As I said before, we're now in the process of trying to get 1.5 million members across the globe. 1987, LCI becomes the first service club organization to include women as members. Today, really, women are the fastest growing segment of our association, and they bring a wealth of ideas, energy, and skills to our organization. In 2018, Lions elected the first female international president, who was from Iceland. Her name was Gudrun Yngvadar. 1988, first International Peace Poster Contest. As First Vice President Doug said, it's a poster contest that's established for young people around the world. Allows them to express their artistic visions of peace to a specified theme that LCI develops every year. It's handled at the club level, and then from the club it goes to the district, and from the district it goes to the multiple district. Multiple district goes to LCIF. So if you're a winner at the club level, you will go to the state where there's a total of 17 posters that are judged by the Council of Governors, and the winner of that then is the winner of the state of Pennsylvania, which goes on to international to compete with the international folks. 1990, Site First is launched. This is where they really got serious about supporting blindness and trying to eradicate blindness around the world. In 1999, LCIF partnered with the Carter Center to combat river blindness in Africa and Latin America. And I just read a post today that through LCIF, 204.6 million doses of Zerothomax, which controls trachoma, which is a bacteria infection that causes blindness. But you, as a member of the Lions and participate in the foundation, helped assure that those 204.6 million doses got distributed out to the where they needed to be. The name and the logo. There we go. The official name of the association is the International Association of Lions Clubs, or simply Lions International. You hear us talk a lot about Lions Clubs International. This has just been changed within the last year that they've reduced the name to Lions International, because there was a lot of confusion going on between the Lions Clubs International and Lions Clubs International Foundation. So they tried to give some separation between those two by reducing the association's names to just Lions International. As you can see, our logo, which was chosen on a secret ballot, has lines facing in opposite directions. The line facing to the left really is the one that looks back to the past to and is proud of the past services that we've done. The one to the right is looking to the future, looking optimistically towards the future and what we will accomplish in the future. Organizational structure, just as there's structure within the club and within the uh, district, International has a structure in itself. International president is from Brazil this year, Fabricio Oliveira. First vice president, AP Singh, who is from India. He will be the international president this year is our district governor's boss, let's say. AP Singh will become, when he takes over in July, but at International, he will be Doug's new boss. Second vice president Mark S. Lyon, he's from Connecticut. I know Mark. He was my trainer when I was becoming district governor. Uh, so I know him well. And if any of you are planning on going to the council meeting this weekend in Harrisburg, Mark will be there. He's going to come in and do a presentation or two at the council meeting. Third vice president is from Kenya. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, except looks like his last name is Shah. And intermediate past president and our current LCIF chairperson is Dr. Patty Hill, and she is from Canada. She came to our multiple district 14 convention last year, and I suspect that Fabricio will be at our multiple district 14 convention this year, which I believe is in Scranton. International Board of Directors, there are 34 members. It's proportionally made up of by 7 constitutional areas around the world, and it's all based on membership. So the constitutional areas with the higher membership are allowed to have more representatives in the international board. We here in the United States and our affiliates like the Virgin Islands and things like that, we are constitutional area number 1. The International Convention, Constitution and bylaws govern the operations of the association and establish rules by which association is to function. Now, each district has a set of constitution and bylaws, and normally each club has a section on constitution and bylaws as well. However, if there's any conflict between those, the international constitution and bylaws will take precedent over that. International convention. This brings thousands of Lions from around the world for the week of business training, education, and just celebration and fellowship. As Doug mentioned, in his training as for district governor, he is in a group of probably 19 or 20 people from all over the world. He has people from India, from Africa. When I was in training for district governor, we had people from the Netherlands and from India and from Sri Lanka and Africa. So there's if you want to really get a touch of the international flavor of Lions clubs, the convention is really the thing to attend. And you can learn more about that online at lcicon.lionsclubs.org. The convention this year is in Orlando, Florida, which if you like the warm weather in June, that would be a perfect place to go. The next one that's going to be close to us will be in 27, and that's going to be in Washington, D.C. Um, any Lion can go to the convention. You do not have to be part of International's leadership to attend a convention. That is open to every single member of the Lions clubs. Our headquarters is located in Oak Brook, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago. Doug will be there next week for some district governor training. I know he's excited about being out there at the beginning of February on a cold Chicago lake. Um, but as you can see there, the international staff is about 275 members strong in those 11 divisions: convention, district and club administration, finance, information technology, leadership development, legal sides, Lions Clubs International Foundation, marketing, membership, member operations and support, and service activities. As a district governor, you will have contact with almost every single one of those um, divisions sooner or later. Service activities. As you can see there, we have a list of 8 global causes: diabetes, vision, hunger, environment, childhood cancer, youth, disaster relief, and humanitarian service. Um, our activities at the district and club level feed right into the global service team, which handles these global causes around the world. Uh, the If you go on the Lions website, you can go to LCIF to see some of the stories that come back to Lions International related to all the service that we do. Um, it's just amazing some of the stories and how heart warming they are to uh, uh, to read and to hear about. As Doug had mentioned, I was fortunate enough to go to Mayfield, Kentucky about 3 years ago, where an F4 tornado went through this little beautiful uh, old town of Mayfield, Kentucky. Uh, it went through on December 10th, 2 weeks before Christmas, at 9 o'clock at night. And the state of Pennsylvania put together. We actually have, in case you don't know this, we actually have 3 trucks, 3 tractor trailers, 53-foot trailers that have a wrap on them that say that it's Pennsylvania Lions. And I'm going to give you something to look up. Here's some homework for you. Uh, if you go to YouTube and search for LCIF providing relief after tornado in Kentucky, you'll get to see that truck because the state of Pennsylvania sent 2 tractor trailers worth of goods down to Kentucky to Mayfield to help out the needs down there. There was food, there was uh, generators, there were heaters, there were you name it. It was on those 2 trucks. Unfortunately, we only got to use one of the wrap trucks. The other trucks were in service. Like I said, there are 3. They are kept here in York, Pennsylvania, uh, with the former Kynard Trucking, and one is within 24-hour call for us to use. The other 2 are traveling the United States on regular loads. So the people across the United States are getting to see Pennsylvania Lions tractor trailers out on the road. So if you get a chance, like I said, look up at that YouTube, search at YouTube for LCIF providing relief to area uh, after the tornado in Kentucky. And what you'll what you'll see with that is you're probably going to see a lot of faces you might even know. Uh, Anybody that has a fluorescent Lions Alert vest on is a Pennsylvania Lion. There were 15 of us went down to help out with the distribution of those supplies. Uh, eh, the LCIF is the main arm for supplying funding for these large-scale humanitarian projects. Uh, Again, it was founded in 1968, and it's the official foundation of Lions International, which helps us perform service, uh, not just in the global causes, but as you are probably aware that with the disasters that are going on in the world, LCIF is one of the major funding authorities for working with those disasters. Excuse me. Uh, Lions are normally the first boots on the ground, and they are normally the last to leave. So the money that goes into that foundation is not just a one-time deal. Uh, it's constantly being poured out to those needed global causes and to these disaster areas. LCIF relies totally on donations. As I had said earlier, more than $1 billion in grants have been awarded to date. Um, we just came off the most ambitious fundraising campaign in its history, which was called Campaign 100, um, which brought in, I believe, like $315 million into the coffers. But with the disasters that we've seen in the last several years, uh, $315 million doesn't go a long way. Again, just to reiterate some things, it's uh, over 50 years, the foundation has supported these global causes. Um, 16 million children served by Lions Quest, 9.1 million cataract surgeries, millions of vaccinations against measles, also supplying wells in areas that don't have good, clean water. Um, so the LCIF is very, very active around the world with everything that uh, relates to those 8 global causes. International provides some really, really good development opportunities and training, and this all comes under the GLT in international. And Jay is our district GLT coordinator. Um, but you have Emerging Lions Leadership Institute, Regional Lions Leadership Institute, which is going to be held for our district, or for actually the multiple district 14. It's going to be held in Harrisburg. I don't remember the date, but it's in March. Patty, do you remember the date?
I
You're
believe it's the
muted.
first weekend of March.
Is the first weekend of March? Okay. Advanced Lions Leadership Institutes, Faculty Development Institute, which is an institute which, if you would like to teach within the Lions organization, um, they would they very highly recommend you go to the Faculty Development Institute, and then you can actually you're available for teaching anywhere at any time. It doesn't have to be just locally here; it could be anywhere. District Governor Elect Seminar. Those are for people that are moving up from first vice district governor to the district governor position. That's Doug is in the middle of all that right now. Multiple district leadership development funding is available through LCI. Um, Again, that helps pay for some of these leadership institutes. The the GLT district funding program again helps pay for anything that we might want to do within the multiple district or the district. Various webinars all the time. There are webinars literally going on probably every day, and that you could pick up on Facebook um, or YouTube. YouTube actually records. There's recordings of many seminars and and trainings on YouTube. Lions Learning Center. If you go to Lions website, the web page, you'll find Lions Learning Center. There's a tremendous amount of programming there for just about anything you can think of. The Lions Certified Instructor Program is really, I believe, part of the Faculty Development Institute now. Um, Lions University. Again, if you go to the website, you can see Lions University. There you can um, go after a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate of Lions or Lionism. And it's just a tremendous amount of training, which not only is related to your Lions um, missions, but it can be valuable to you in your profession and into your normal life. USA Canada Forum, that's usually held in September. It rotates through the United States and Canada. The last one I think was in Louisville, Kentucky. I think there's one coming up in Atlantic City in the near future. But that is one of the best 3-day weekend or 3-day training sessions that you'll ever have. There's literally 100 different seminars you can go to. There's meals, there's guest speakers, and some of the guest speakers are just absolutely amazing people. Membership development. I guess it's really not a surprise to anybody that bringing in new members really ensures that our mission to serve people will continue. Are constantly looking for an influx of enthusiastic members to serve those in need, and people are, believe it or not, people are looking, and that's where Doug had mentioned about word of mouth. Sometimes it just takes uh, to ask one, basically, to get some interest. We had the holiday village that he mentioned. We had a couple, husband and wife, come to that, and they spent the whole day there with us. And we said, is this something that might interest you to become a member in? And he said, well, absolutely. We're gonna discuss that. But no one had ever asked them before. So again, just ask one. There are various types of memberships. Family membership, the and most of these have reduced dues fees schedules, mainly with international. I don't believe that they have any reduced schedules from below international for district, multiple district, or and you have student memberships. You have Leo to Lion. That's when a Leo wants to convert to being a full-time Lion. Uh, there's a Lions Worldwide Induction Day where they encourage clubs and members to bring in new prospects and to add them to their roster on that special induction day. There are again Leo clubs for members from 12 to 30, and that entails really the high school and college level people, and club branches. A club branch is a club that's formed, say, like in a nursing home, that you'll have a club that will sponsor a branch club, and the right now we have one club branch here in the district, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. You need 5 members to get one started, and I believe that the one we have is probably up to about 12 or 15 members. Is that right, Doug?
We'll be adding 2 more next month or in March, so that'll be 15 members.
Okay. And once they get to 20, they actually can break off from the sponsor club and become their own Lions Club. Uh, in addition to the new clubs, the extension, as we talked about, there are specialty clubs. Like you might have a bunch of guys that are into target shooting and they'd like to do humanitarian service. So they could start a specialty gun club version of a Lions, or it could be attorneys, uh, anything imaginable. It could be uh, people that like to quilt or knit. It could form a specialty club. And like we said, the branch clubs are those that are being sponsored by a sponsor club and move on. Communications from international. Uh, as you can see, you have Lions Magazine. You get email messages. Uh, Website is lionsclubs.org, and they are highly involved on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can go there and go to any of those and search for Lions Clubs. And again, you'll be just absolutely amazed with the amount of information that is out there on Lions Clubs. So again, I want to say welcome. Welcome to Lions. I encourage you to, if you're a new Lion, I encourage you to pick a cause. Um, there's a saying that you'll remember the day that you joined Lions, but you will never forget the day you became a Lion. And you'll become a Lion when you do a project or you help with a service area that touches you deeply. Um, I remember one of the first ones that I did was we we did Christmas food baskets that we took to needy people in our community. And I remember knocking on the door of this one house, and a little girl answered, and we told her, what we're there for, and she called her mom and said, "Mom, come here, we have food," which was, um, I'll never forget that, and I will never forget the week I spent in Mayfield, Kentucky. Um, those people were just so appreciative of any little thing that we did to help them. And that's something that will stick with me the rest of my life, and it'll stick with you um, as well. So, does anybody have any questions for? I know we covered a lot of information tonight. I mean, we went a little over our time of an hour allotted, but if anybody has any questions for Doug or I, please either enter it in the chat or unmute yourself and speak up. Okay, I'll pass it back to Doug.
Okay, well, thanks so much for all the new members. I mean, we really appreciate that you saw it in your heart to become a Lions Club member and be part of this organization we feel so strongly about. We can't thank you enough and welcome to be in the Lions. And we look forward to working with you. So with that, there's no questions, but you see Pastor Jones Keith and my information there. If you have any questions down the road, please contact us. So,
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Doug. Great session.
Glad you enjoyed it.
okay, with that, thank you all for attending this evening. We really appreciate your time and taking out the time this evening and learning more about the Lions Club International, the multiple district, and the club level. So it means a lot to us that you became members of our organization.
If there's anything that Doug and I can help